People are flooding to Idaho Falls and the surrounding areas from states like California and Florida and Texas and Washington. Then they realize that Idaho Falls or Eastern Idaho or even Idaho in general is not for them after all. So in this video, we're going to talk about why people end up leaving shortly after moving here. You ready? Let's get started. What's up guys? My name is Annika Wilder. I am a local realtor here in the Eastern Idaho area. If you're thinking about moving here, whether it's next week or next year, give me a call, shoot me a text, or send me an email and I'll be happy to help answer any other questions or help make your move to Idaho smooth. And if you're new to my channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and that notification bell because I post a video every single week and I don't want you to miss a beat. Number one reason why Californians or other people from other states are moving back to where they came from is, you probably could have guessed it, the weather. I talk about the weather so much on this channel because it is the number one question I get from people moving here who have never been here. And they always ask, how bad is it really? Now, when I answer this question, it's very subjective. I'm a person who loves all four seasons. I have no problem with the snow. Yes, sometimes winters feel long. I don't like the cold, but I love the four seasons and I don't mind it at all. So when I talk about it, it's my personal perspective and I say weather here in Idaho is not as bad as other places like North Dakota or Canada or like Russia. It is, I think, very doable. We're having a really nice fall right now, recording this video in November 2024. The leaves are beautiful. It's a cooler temperature in the 40s and 50s. And it's transitioning us into winter, and I think it's wonderful. However, people who are moving here from California or Florida or Texas who are used to a very moderate or Mediterranean temperature where it's just warmer and not very extreme in the hot or the cold, they come and they experience the cold, they experience the snow, and they realize they're just not snow people. It's not for them. If you are somebody who thinks you like the snow, but maybe you're not interested in snowboarding or snowshoeing or snow skiing or even just sledding or just walking in the snow, driving in the snow, it might not be a place that you're comfortable living in. Sometimes you have to experience it though to really know if it's for you. So that's the number one is Californians see, okay, we know it's going to be cold, we know it's going to have snow, but when they actually feel it and experience it, they realize they miss the beach, they miss the warmth, they don't want to have to shovel snow and salt their driveway, and they're ready to go back to California. Also, it's kind of windy here. This year in 2024, I actually don't think it's been a very windy year, but when I first moved here, it was very windy. It felt like it was windy all the time. And that is something that locals will tell you that it can be windy. And so if you combine those three, the snow, the wind, and the cold temperatures, I can see why Californians or people from Florida or Texas will go right back to where they came from because it can be a lot for your first time. Number two, cost of living. Yes, Eastern Idaho is still an affordable place to live. However, a lot of people moved here in 2020 around that pandemic time where it made the prices of homes come up quite a bit. It went from a $200,000 house all the way up to a $400,000 house in a matter of a year or two. And so when you have a rapid increase in home values, it's hard for the local economy to catch up in regards to salary. And so if you're working remotely, Idaho is a great place to live because you can make your California remote salary, but live in a more affordable place like Idaho Falls or Eastern Idaho in general. However, if you're moving here for a job and you might be taking a pay cut because you want to be in Idaho for other reasons, maybe it's politics, the slower pace of life, or the conservative culture, you might realize that home prices are high compared to how much people are making. So it really just depends on your employment and it depends on how much you are willing to spend or can spend, or if you have an asset to sell. If you're selling $1 million property in California and you can bring that equity into Idaho, then of course it's affordable. So it really just depends on your situation. Which brings me to point number 3, job opportunities. We do have some major employers here. We have Melaleuca and the Idaho National Lab, and we even have an Amazon distribution center and a few other places that are hiring a lot of people all the time. However, if you're looking for, say, like a nursing job or a teaching job, these salaries are going to be less than they are in other states. I had someone wanting to move here recently looking for a pharmacist position, and she would have been taking a pay cut to move here, but she wanted to move here and it was almost worth it. However, when you're looking at the numbers, it's really important to see what your budget is, how much you'll be making compared to the cost of living in Idaho Falls. So it really just depends on what kind of field you're in. So a question like that would be great to send me a text or give me a call so we can talk specifically about your situation. Number 4, there are fewer amenities here. I know I talk about this all the time, but this is significant because I have people coming to visit to see if Idaho Falls is the right place for them, and they realize things are closed on Sundays. Not everything, but some things. There's not a lot of eclectic coffee shops. There's not as much music scene. I think there's plenty, but compared to a big city where you can just go to any corner of the city and find some kind of band, all different kinds of music, open mic nights, and coffee shops that are open all the time, it's just not here. So the nightlife is very different here than you would find in other cities. In fact, I had someone come tour Idaho Falls. They were all filled of hope, thinking it would be the best option for them, and they realized, oh my gosh, there's just not a lot here. I can't live in a house and just walk to a coffee shop. There's very few places that you can walk to a coffee shop or to the downtown area. If you live downtown, you can, but if you're living 10 minutes, 5 minutes from downtown, it's all just residential all around there. And you can watch some of my other videos where I talk specifically about neighborhoods and location. The other thing about amenities is bigger cities have more health food options. They have more healthcare, specialized healthcare, and we don't have as much. We have great healthcare, great hospitals, but if you're looking for something a little bit more specialized, expect to travel 3 hours south to Salt Lake City, which would probably be the closest city for more healthcare amenities, more unique care, bigger health food stores, and things like that. Also, in regards to specialty amenities, there's not a ton of ethnic food here, and locals might disagree with me because we do have Indian food, we have Mexican food, we have Asian food, Thai food, I mean, we've got sushi places, we've got some variety, but when you're coming from a bigger city, like my husband and I did, my husband loves Ethiopian food and I love Persian food, and we have to travel 3 hours to Salt Lake City to find that type of food, so we don't have as extravagant or exotic type of food here in Idaho Falls like you would find in other cities. It's actually one of my least favorite things about Idaho Falls is I have to travel to Salt Lake, like I said, for Persian food or Ethiopian food, but also for my German import stores because I'm from Germany. I want to be able to buy my Lebkuchen and other German goodies for St. Nicholas Day and things like that. And it's not here. It's not local. We don't even have a Trader Joe's. It's my biggest complaint. I could say it in every video, but that is one of the reasons, it honestly is, why people from California or other states will turn right back around, move back to where they came from, just because sometimes it feels like they're going backwards when they move to eastern Idaho. Number 5, culture shock. Idaho Falls has a very specific culture. It's a Christian, conservative community. A lot of people are moving here for that. A lot of people are moving here for God, guns, and freedom, which I talk about all the time. However, if you're moving here and you have a little bit more progressive politics, or the way you're thinking is a little bit leaning on the left or the liberal side, there are people who think on the left, who think more liberally here, but it's just not as prominent as the conservative views are. So it can feel kind of like a culture shock when you move here and you realize that there's a lot of people, a lot of the population, especially in East Idaho, view the world in a very similar way. So bringing in new ideas that might be a little bit more progressive or left-leaning, it might feel like you're an outsider and it might be a little bit more difficult to connect with people. However, Idaho has people from all over the world, and there are people from the far right, from the far left, and people in the middle. And so you will find some kind of connection, but if you're used to being on the far left and being in a very democratic state, it will feel very different coming into Idaho, which is a lot less regulated compared to other blue states. Well, that's it for this video. If you have any other questions, feel free to reach out. Like I said, my name is Annika Wilder. I am a realtor here. So if you're thinking about moving here, give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email, and I would love to help you in your next move. If you're thinking about selling your house wherever you're moving from, I also have connections across the entire nation. My team, the Anderson Hicks Group, is partnered with an organization called Place, and Place partners with the top realtor teams in the nation, and I would love to hook you up. Well, thanks for listening. We'll see you next time. Bye.